On this week's Tuesday Talk, we are answering another question from a viewer, this one being, how much trailer towing experience did you have before you got your Airstream, and how long before you really felt confident at towing?
Good question.
And I'm going to direct that all to Steve, since I have not towed the Airstream once. That will change, hopefully, next year now that I can, drive our truck.
I've had virtually zero bupkis towing experience before the Airstream. I can't remember a scenario. Well, I guess I towed a little trailer full of ATVs, like 2 or 3 ATVs once, like a U-Haul kind of trailer. But other than that, that was it. Certainly nothing as big as a 10,000-pound Airstream. So no experience whatsoever. However, it's not rocket science. It just takes a lot of practice and experience. So you kind of know, the more you experience different situations, the more comfortable you'll be, whether you're out on a highway or whether you're in cities. Cities will obviously be more nerve-wracking under most situations because there are tighter spaces, there's cars all around you. Cars always want to be in front of you, not behind you, so they're liable to cut you off, and I don't know, all that stress gets easier the more you do it, and practice is really what it comes down to. So when we were coming back from buying the Airstream the very first time, I had my dad with me, and he full-time RV'd with my mom for 13 years. So he has a lot of experience, and we just, there's bugs all over the place. We pulled off into an empty parking lot on the way back, and I just practiced. I practiced both pulling forward, but especially backing up into relatively tight spaces. Of course, it was an open parking lot, so if I made a mistake, I wouldn't wreck anything. But we just kind of made imaginary lines and just used parking spaces and did our best to give me a little bit of practice. We spent like 10 or 15 minutes, and that's it. But the more you back up, again, the easier it will be. There are some driving schools out there. I know somebody who took a driving class, especially how to back up using your own trailer, and according to him, it was absolutely magical. It completely changed the way that he drove and his comfort level pulling his fifth wheel. So that's always an option. I personally did not go that route, even though I'm certainly not opposed to it. I'm just cheap and I don't want to spend the money for it. That's really what it comes down to. And I have most people know me to have a good amount of confidence. Not arrogance, but confidence. There's a fine line between the two. I can make mistakes. I have made mistakes. We've bottomed out. We've wrecked stuff. I'm not perfect. I'm far from it. But I do understand, or I do believe, rather, I guess that's the better word, that the more I do something, the easier it's going to be. And for the most part, unless a catastrophe happens, everything is going to be okay. So, that's it.
Yeah, and hopefully I will be able to add into this conversation come next year, once we hit the road again, and I will have tried towing.
Oh, I think the second part of that question was how long did it take before I felt truly comfortable? Really, the Oregon trip where we went to get solar on top of the Airstream, linked up there. Once we got back from that was really when I started to feel more comfortable. Of course, after that point, we were stationary for several months. Then we went out again. So I guess, after a weekend of heavy travel, or a couple weeks of regular travel, I started to feel pretty darn comfortable with how it tows and the things I have to do. How wide I have to take corners, things like that. Just I don't know, just a couple weeks, not more than 2 or 3 weeks, before I really started to feel comfortable in pretty much any situation.
Yeah. And then, of course, if you've never been in a situation before, then you're going to be outside your comfort zone and you're going to have to think about it. But for 99% of the time, after the first couple of weeks of towing and backing in and doing what you have to do, it seemed like everything was good.
Yeah, and even the situations where you don't feel comfortable in, you just go as slow as you need. You don't rush it. There's no, this isn't a sprint or a marathon. It's a walk. It's just a nice, gentle stroll down Melody Lane. That's all it is. So if you don't feel comfortable, just go slow, It will work out next time. You'll probably go a little bit faster because you feel more comfortable with it, and everything kind of builds on itself. And by the end of your travels, after months or years or however long you do it, you're probably going to not find yourself in a situation that you've never seen before. And even if you haven't, I know I'm rambling, I'm sorry. Even if you haven't been in a particular situation, over the months and years, you will develop enough confidence to be able to address new situations that you may not have seen before with a greater level of comfort. So you're not going to be as nervous, even in new situations, 5 years down the road, that you were 5 days after you began RVing. Okay, I will shut up now.
So that's it for this week's Tuesday Talk. If you have a question for a future Tuesday Talk, please leave it in the comments below. Like this video, if you would, and you liked it. And stay tuned next week for another Tuesday Talk.
Like it if you liked it. Even if you didn't, mash that like button.
Bye, guys.